Good morning, all. Beautiful Sunday on this January New Year. Last week I was talking about that AWS certifications because people are having so many confusions in that which certification they would like to go for. Like, so I just taken it like only the certification point of view, and I explained many certifications as well. There are more people who asked for that, the PPD slides, and they wanted to watch the videos and all. I was getting so much mails from the people, and I was I'm very much thanks for that. And today I'm going to talk about something on Fortinet. Fortinet, FortiGate, these all quite been there in the market for last 10, more than 10 years they are there. Because it is a smaller company. They started like, in earlier 10, 15 years back now. And they grown up like anything nowadays. So they are a very good competitor in the firewall market. Firewall, everyone knows that we all having the hardware firewall, software firewall, Linux firewalls, you know, virtual machines as a firewalls, cloud firewalls. Now we come up to that, the evolution has come up until that web application firewall. We call it as WAF, and SD-WAN for a networking. They do some firewall on this. Fortinet is doing that on SD-WANs. So they are everywhere. Fortinet is not like a smaller company. We are going to see some more slides on this in the next coming up slides. You'll be seeing that. And a couple of many companies are going for this Fortinet. We also have some lot of Fortinet installations are happening. Fortinet is a company name. FortiGate is the brand name for that firewall. Fortinet has got so many solutions. Okay, one other solution is a FortiGate. FortiGate firewall is quite nice, and it doesn't require much memory or something like that, and I can install it in a smaller VM virtual machines. You can install it in the virtual machine like VMware workstation, something like that. You can install it. I installed it already, and we'll be showing you a small demo on end of this session as usual, because this is a technical session which I'm going to conduct that now. So FortiGate is a firewall. It's a 64-bit something like that. It comes up. Our latest software has been added to that. And everyone working on a firewall. Many people are working on many firewalls. I started my firewall working on Cisco routers as a firewall. Like that, we used to configure it with some lot of access lists and all. Like extended access list, standard access list, named access lists, port blockings. These are all the things which has been started on that. And that time on the CCNA, this port blocking and access list writing was a very big, adventure like that we used to do. Okay, that time. And later they come up with the PIX firewall, PIX. That is a PIX firewall. There was a small problem in my link, so let me share it again. Guess everyone can hear me. Hello. Could you please mute your mic?
Yes, Ravnath.
Yeah, sorry. Because it was actually having some small problem in my link. That's why. So now it has come back. Okay. I was talking about that PIX firewall and all. Like when Cisco started that, they started with some PIX firewall, and they later come up with an ASA, that is an adaptive security appliance. And many other firewalls has come up in the time itself. Like D-Link has got some firewalls, Taiwanese products, and Palo Alto has got a very good firewall. Fortinet has got a firewall, and Juniper has got a SRX firewall. Like many firewalls are there in the market. So according to the every other company, whichever it is producing the network equipments or something, they started producing the firewalls also. Firewalls are basically Linux boxes only. Every Linux command will be working on your firewalls. No need to worry about that. So, so firewalls are easy to configure. Nowadays, it is coming with a lot of GUI on this graphical user interface, and very very easy with that. You don't need to know about anything about the command line or something like that to configure a firewall. If you know that, it's nice, because if you know the command line, you can do a lot of maintenance activities on the firewall box. If you like to take any core dump on that, and if you like to analyze any logs on that, and these are all the functions are very easier if you know the command line utility. But people are liking more of nowadays like only the GUI because of the cloud has come. So graphical user interface only the people are liking it. So we can go with the GUI also. Fortinet has come up with a beautiful GUI. I will show you that in the coming up slides or something like that. I'll just show you. And we can configure that GUI with the GUI also, CLI also we can configure that. We need to learn certain commands on the Fortinet FortiGate firewall on this. FortiGate is quite been long time in the market, and they got a very good market share also, and they are very much been growing up. And it is a cheaper when you go for a solution wise, because I'm into the solution providing. I used to give the solutions for my customers to the cloud solutions like AWS, mostly on a Google Cloud and all. We used to provide that. That time they would like to go for some kind of firewall configuration. In the sense, people are looking for a Fortinet because Fortinet is a cheaper compared with the Palo Alto or ASA or Juniper SRX or something. So it's cheaper in the sense, as of the performance level, it is not cheaper. Only the price is cheaper but, than the other things. And there are so many versions of it they have. Many kind of, the environment we can put on the firewalls according to our requirements of that. The smaller firewalls we can have, the enterprise firewalls we can have, and very cloud firewalls we can have. We have WAF, that is the web application firewalls that we can have. And the cloud in the cloud, if you like to install that to firewalls, we can have that. Third-party solutions like that, we can go to the marketplace on every cloud, AWS, Azure, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud. Any cloud we can go for that. There we can go and install the firewalls as a virtual machines on this. It's like a cloud-based firewall, which will be connecting your on-premises as well as your private data centers to the cloud solutions as well. And moreover, the people who are coming directly to the cloud to access your resources for your customers' resources or something, they will go through the this kind of a firewall VM solutions on this. That requires some certain knowledge on the cloud basics. You require that. So as of saying that, you without a cloud you will not be able to survive in any market. I'm telling differently, because nowadays all the customers are coming up with the cloud solutions only. They would like to have anything on cloud, everything on cloud. They don't want to install any small server also like that. No, can you make it up in the AWS? Let us keep it for a 3 months, 6 months time only. Like give me some good memory or like hard disk space or something like that. They are just asking that way. So better we can learn the cloud skills also, because cloud skills in the sense cloud is including every other domain currently available, either a firewall domain, networking domain, routing switching domains, service provider domains, so DevOps domain, DevSecOps domains, any domain whichever you take that. Now the Terraform is also been there in the market. Terraform is like automation solutions on the cloud solutions like that. So everything comes up in the cloud solutions. So better we will go for learning some cloud skills. If you go for any certification, it's nice, but I'm telling you, like, because we need to have a knowledge on it to work on any cloud or something. Because every other firewall, every other box, every other routers, switches are not there, and nexus and all, they're not there. But when you look for a load balancer, or you look for any firewalls, or you look for any web application firewalls, they wanted to get it installed in their, in the cloud or something. So we require that cloud skills. Anyway, let us come back to the Fortinet. Fortinet also has got some firewall solutions which can be applied on the any cloud solutions which you can have. And on-premises appliances also we can buy and we can install it. Else we can go for the virtual machines like that. We can install it in the VMware ESXi. We can download the software for that and we can install it. And we can have this Fortinet FortiGate. If you like to do a small lab, you would like to create it for your practicing purpose, for lab practicing and other things. If you would like to attend any interviews or something, and you wanted to have some hands-on on the Fortinet FortiGate, they are providing around 14 days evaluation copy of the FortiGate, 64-bit available, and it's around 100 MB only. You can download it from the support.fortinet.com. Something is there site. You can go register yourself. It's a free, and 14 days evaluation copy is available. You can download and you can just activate it as it is. You can activate it in the VMware workstation and you can start working on. I'll show you that Fortinet, which has been I installed in my own PC, and it doesn't take much memory or much CPU cycle or something like that. It is very smoother and it is very light version which we have, because they restrict that the capacity of the Fortinet firewall can work on that. Certain functions will not be working, but definitely we can create the VPNs, site-to-site VPN, remote VPNs, whatever the other firewalls are doing, that we can do that. but the packet transferring cannot be done in a very higher rate. It can be done in very lower rate only. So we can download. Definitely, I'll give you Dildar. Don't worry. I will give you all the informations to you in the due sessions of something. You can go with that. I'll even show you the site also where you can go and download it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Thank you. So Fortinet, let us talk about the Fortinet now, their market trend and their market, what is it, share or something like that. Let me start this, if I, for that Fortinet, it's like, yeah. Emerging security challenges. See, in 1980s, you can just see here in the down, just see in the 1980s, let me take this pen. In the 1980s, it was like a hardware theft, like, and there was a lock and key was there. Lock and key in the sense they will keep it in the rack room or something like that. They will lock it and key it like that. Only those people cannot take that around. Like then what is that layer 3 and the layer 4 connection has come there. The concept has comes like a firewall and VPN. Then it's come up like an IPS. IPS means intrusion protecting system services, something like that it goes on. Then the virus and spyware. Windows is very much of a virus prone only. So we come up with the idea called the antivirus. Then spam and botnets were coming up. Spam in the sense like they will be keep on sending. Yeah, somebody is speaking. Audio, please. You're not able to hear. Anyone has a problem in hearing me? Somebody has pinged me that audio is not coming.
No, it's good.
It's good, no? Yeah, please. See, and moreover, somebody is.
Yeah, you.
Bratin sir. Welcome, sir. Bratin sir, you are there. Okay, thank you, sir. And see, Redmi Note 8, somebody, he hasn't given any name or something. Redmi Note 8, the person. I guess you are using your headphones, I guess. Better you can hear it through the laptop speaker or something like that, it will be working. Because I seen in the Zoom meetings always like this headphones doesn't work. Bluetooth things doesn't work properly. I seen it. I myself has experienced it many times. Please use your direct speaker. You can use it. No issues. You can just mute your mic. That's nice. Okay, then we were coming up with that virus and spyware. Viruses and spyware. It was coming up. Mobile phone. You need to switch it to speaker or something to hear it. Very good. Nice. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Vinay. Thank you. And the viruses and spyware has come up in the antivirus solutions or something which everyone is installing the antivirus solution for the entire company. I used to give some solutions for the entire company for the antivirus solutions and all. McAfee is there and so many other companies are there. I don't want to get into that. And then we were talking about the spam and botnets. This spam and botnets has come up after that internet has come up so much in that. People who are connecting to the internet and they try to download something and they try to access their resources to the internet in the sense the spam and botnet has started spreading across anything, anywhere. Like. So we are started having kind of an anti-spam solutions. Then the web filter, malicious websites. People are getting the Nigerian mails like you got some $3 million, $4 million lottery prizes come up. You click this and go there and do something like that. There is nothing but a malicious websites. So they give that like then we were working on like some solutions on a web filtering. That is come up there. Then application control, malicious apps were installed. Nowadays, we are all using the Android phones and iPhones and other things, even Windows phones also, whether it is there or not, I don't know. Nothing, I guess it's been closed everything. And malicious applications are getting installed in your laptops or in your mobile phones or APKs like that. It goes up. 100 applications, so many applications are installed. Nowadays, we were seeing them, so many kind of, loan application apps are there. They are having some lot of rackets which are there. They just busted out everything, all the rackets, like because they tried to threaten the people like that. They asked so much money on this, like personal loan, like something like that. It's come up with the spurious applications like we can install it and they will be giving you a lot of money for you. Then they will start attacking you like that. So like these are all like a malicious application. For that we require the application control that has come up in the firewall solutions. So these are all coming into the generation. Generation 1 is in connection. It's like a stateful firewall. We are going to see that what is stateful and what is stateless. This is a stateful firewall. And in the generation 2, there is a content based. We are talking about next generation firewall and unified threat, like unified threat management. We will be seeing that. And this is the second wave of things. Like this is a first kind of a solution, first generation. This is a second generation. And this is a third generation. Third generation is like a security fabric we are going to construct it. Advanced threat protection, advanced threat attacks, and then fabric. In the machine learning, something like that, we will be start using that machine to machine attacks like. So now they are started using the A and the ML. A and ML for firewall technologies also. ML is coming up like anything. We just need to start learning at least what is A and ML. How is it going to help us? How is it going to screw us our happiness in the job market? Everything we just need to learn. Somebody is pinging. You mean need to connect external speaker or earphone? Not like that. Not like that. See, if you have that earphone or something like that, please remove it. Just listen it in your mobile phone speaker itself. That would be easier. And just mute your audio something like that. That's nice. You don't require, because when you are using the Bluetooth phone, Bluetooth mic or something like that, it will not work out. In Zoom meetings, it is happening. Okay. Okay, so there is a 3 generations we are seeing that. Generation 1 is a stateful firewall. Like that, we are keeping lock and key and firewall VPN connections. Generation 2, it is nothing but a content. Next generation firewall and the unified threat management. And generation 3, we are talking about infrastructure security fabric creations. So luckily, this Fortinet has been in the second as well as the third also. They started creating all these things. Now everybody is going towards this. This is how the firewall market has been coming up in the market nowadays. So it is not only just creating a firewall or something, just writing an access list will not work out, because we require, the threats are coming up through any levels of it. Like OSI layers, we were seeing that the firewalls are normally working with a layer 3 and layer 4. That's all. That is not enough for us, because application level attacks are nowadays is happening. They're changing all the ports on the application level, means like HTTP, SSL, SSH, and all these things. Those levels that people have started attacking now. So we are having the things called as a WAF. That's what I was explaining about that WAF we were talking about. Web application firewall. We have web application firewall can be done in all the cloud solutions we have, as well as FI is also providing the WAF also it is possible. We can install it in the cloud itself. So like many products are coming up in the market, but we need to understand what is the latest technology on this, how we are implementing, how we are going to implement it in on-prem as well as data centers, as well as in our cloud solutions also. These are all the 3 things. Program performance degradation is happening like this. So today, this is what today, then it's coming up like that until the fabric which we are conducting on this. So this generation 3rd and the generation 2, which you are going to see it on this, this slides and all. Fortinet security fabric, 3rd generation network security. So here the fabric, here the Fortinet is sitting here in the center. So we have Forti app, Forti switch, which is for access, wireless access, another thing. Forti client, which is used for your mobiles and IoT. Forti sandbox for the Forti cloud. This is for a cloud solutions, threat intelligence. Forti manager, Forti analyst, Forti CM. CM is nothing but security incident and management and other things coming up. Knock and SOC, which we normally having it, like in all the generations we used to use this, and still we are using the SOC only to mitigate all the problems for our customers. And the FortiGate virtual machines, which can be installed on AWS and Azure, and the FortiCAP, something like that, it's a 8D something, it's for a cloud solutions we can go for. And the FortiMail and the FortiWeb, they have every other solutions. We can even protect our mail servers by installing this FortiMail applications in our mail servers on this. So here, okay, here we are seeing that the broad in the sense the fabric covers the entire attack surface. Security can be applied to the network, endpoints, access, applications, and cloud, and visibility extended to other vendor solutions as well. Like a global solutions. We were offering some.
Hey Ramnath.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody is.
What is Forti?
40? Hello.
Forti Deceptor for used for?
Forti Deceptor.
Yeah.
Forti Deceptor. I am just listening the first time. Forti Deceptor. Where it is? It is in the slide or something? It's there.
No. It's in my company. They are using this 40 sandbox,
Okay.
40 guard, 40
Uh,
manager, 40 analyzer, and 40 deceptor even.
40 disruptor. Maybe like there is one more application level security mostly. So I need to search for the document and I can give you the solutions for that. Because we are working on a very
Yeah. 40 deceptor is also there.
okay, good. Nice to hear it.
As you said, like it's a virtual machine technology like stored on cloud, and they are using it on cloud to secure their what you can say routing or whatever it is. So 40 December is even there. I couldn't find any more details regarding that on
Mm,
site even,
mm,
because for me, while I was going for any lookout and watch out on the videos of Fortinet, they
okay.
are redirecting me towards getting an intro for the device.
Mm. Okay, but you
That's
cannot
not
give me much explanations towards the 40 disruptor. Let me get you the not an issue. I can get you the get you the
yeah, 40 Deceptor is even there. That also I was interested. Okay,
Mm,
but you got to know today, no problem.
mm.
Together we can get to know more.
Definitely, definitely. See, I have some people in Fortinet, no problem. If I ask that, they'll just give me like solutions like anything because I am into the finalizing solutions for my customers. And all. If I look for any information, they'll give me tons of equipments, for tons of documents. For not an issue. I'll give you that. Don't worry. Give that. Then let us come back to this.
Thanks, Ramnath. By the way, this is Syed Mohiuddin.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Then they have something called a powerful. The security fabric utilizes security processes to reduce the burden on infrastructure, allowing comprehensive security without affecting the performance. This is actually they created kind of an ASIC. ASIC in the sense like what we say normally ASIC. Let me write it here. ASIC is application specific integrated circuit. This one is application specific. They created their own applications like, and it will be doing certain operations on its own. And it is a proprietary kind of, they'll embed it on us. We will not be able to see that. That's what they are thinking. They're explaining something like that here. Powerful ASICs are installed in the devices. For that, we just need to take the appliances only. That is the only way it is possible. Then it is automated. Security Fabric enables the fast and coordinated response to the threats. All elements can rapidly exchange threat intelligence and coordinate functions. Like, okay, they are talking about their own product, broad and powerful and automated, something like that. I used to work on a solutions with some kind of a DM, EMC squared, Dell solution, something it was, which was the Rad Vision, something like that. I was working on that product. That is like giving you the entire solution for all the companies. Like, if a client is having around 30, 40 locations, even more to that, and even across the world or something, whatever the firewalls they are using it, like whatever the firewall in the client locations, either it can be a Juniper SRX, or it can be an ASA or a Fortinet, or like a dealing firewalls, like a normal Taiwanese firewalls. So I can bring them everything into the global solutions for that. So I will collect all the logs on this, then I will analyze, then I will create some tickets on this, and accordingly the solutions can be given for that. So there is a very large solutions I was working on. So this is, I am talking about only about the Fortinet here. So those solutions also that is coming into the security fabric or something, it can go. Third generation network security. And they have their own boxes like that they are explaining about the Fortinet. Data center firewall, DC firewall, carrier class firewall, CC firewall, like that. Deployment, service provider or enterprise. This is a service provider or enterprise. 2U, 3U appliance and chassis. This is for installing in the chassis, we call it as an U. And interfaces, 10 gig, 40 gig, and 100 gig Ethernet connections we can have. Firewall throughput will be 10 gig to more than 1 Tbps. These are all we just need to verify that, okay? Because they are saying that it is a data center firewall. That's why they are giving this price. Sorry, this giving this speed or something. And internal segment firewall, ISFW. Deployment is a service provider or enterprise model. 1, 2, 3U appliances. Interfaces are 10, 40, and 100 Gbps. Firewall throughput is 320 Gbps. We just need to have some benchmark value. They just say it in their own, product documentation or something like that. But we just need to verify that whether it can support the 320 Gbps or something. So special features are like a VDOM management. VDOM is like a virtual domain which we will be able to create it in the Fortinet boxes only. Like, Means like a logical segmentation which we can do. Normally like a VLAN we talk about. The same kind of a VLAN which we are talking about the VDOM here. It's nothing nothing big detail in that one. The VDOM is nothing but like a VLAN. That's what I verified it in that way. The next one, let's see. High performance network security in the next generation firewall. This normally everybody will be normally working on. And the people who are having a smaller company like that, they can go for like an edge or border firewall. 1, 2, 3 U appliance and 1 to 1 Gbps and 40 Gbps and 10 Gbps something in the speed is there. Throughput is 1 to 160 Gbps. Advanced threat protection, ATP they call it as. It's called as an advanced threat protection is there. So this is like any normal firewall. ASA also you can compare with that. Normal ASA we can go with that. 5505 or 5505 models and all. Those we can go with that one. And the unified threat management. This is a very smaller, which you can install it in your smaller companies. Like when you have around 10 people are there in your company, or 10 to 20 people are there. Very smaller bank network or like ATM network or something like that. When you go for it, we can deploy this unified threat management on this. This is distributed enterprise or SMB, small business solutions. And it's a form factor is nothing but your desktop. We can install it in a desktop. It's like our normal, wireless router, which is sitting in our home or something like that. Integrators. And high density, it is giving the options of 1 GB. And the throughput is 1 to 3.5 Gbps. And what are the special features? Wi-Fi is available. Power over Ethernet is the ruggedized, something they are talking about their own product information. So this we normally able to see that in any kind of a company which is having around 100 employees or 200 employees or something, they will go for this MGW on FortiGate, which you normally install that. And if it is a very smaller company, like smaller, around 10 people are there in the branch or something, they will go for this, or we can even install it in our home also. Like home broadband connections also we can install this. So this is the solutions which they have. And private cloud and virtual machine firewall. This was I was talking about. So instead of having the appliance, a physical appliance installations, we can have the VMs also can be installed on this, virtual machines like that. And the deployment is in a data center, virtual machine, it's like it can be installed in the virtual machines. SDN integration is also possible on this, software defined networking. Cisco ACI, VMware NSX, OpenStack. NSX is very much in demand nowadays. And the throughput is a hardware dependent. Hardware dependent in the sense where you are installing this virtual machine and what are the CPU resources you are providing and how much memory you are providing for this particular VM. That makes the hardware dependent. That's what they're saying. All major hypervisors are supported. Hypervisors are nothing but like that we are having the VMware ESXi and Microsoft HVM hypervisor and things like that. And licensing is like a perpetual subscription metered. This also we can have. This is the BMP guys will be working on that licensing part. Okay, then the public cloud and the cloud firewall deployment. This I was talking about that. We can deploy it in any public cloud. AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. Currently, I am doing many projects on AWS mostly. Somebody's pinging. What's that? Can you please share this PPT at the end of the session? That I always do, Dilda. Who is it? Ahmad. Okay. I will always do that. I will, once it has been over, near about 1 hour session, I'll be taking it. Then I'll be sending the mails to the people, or you can give me your email address in the chat itself. I will forward this to you. You can download it from the Google Drive. That I always do. Don't worry. Definitely. Even for the people who are not attending, because they used to come and ask me like, sir, I didn't attend that. Can you please give me that access to that? Definitely, I'll give that. No problems. For next week, on whole week, the people will be asking this PPTs only. Don't worry. I will give it to all the people on this. Okay. This is about the virtual machine firewall, which we can install it in our own on-premises. On-prem, we can install it, or in our own data centers, we can install it. This is for the public cloud deployment. Public cloud deployment in the sense we will go for an AWS or Azure or Google, like that will go. This is a cloud virtual machine. Again, when you are installing it in the cloud virtual machine in the sense, the application, that throughput is going to be the cloud dependent, because Fortinet will be coming up with its own hardware requirements. Means normally when we are doing the practice on AWS, I used to show it to my students or like my fellow people who are L1 guys and all. That is a machine called the T2 Micro, which we always use it in AWS. T2 Micro is the one like which is having the one CPU, one virtual CPU, and 1 GB RAM or something like that. So this will never work out in the third-party solutions or something. We need to go for like compute optimized C-based machines or memory optimized M-based machines as there in the AWS. They used to give that one. So we have to start spending the money when we try to install it in the third-party solutions on the AWS or Azure or any cloud or something. So that's what they say. It's about the cloud dependent the throughput is going to be. Licensing is like a BYOL, means bring your own license. Bring your own license. Bring your own license or on-demand license. All the cloud solutions are like that, on-demand. 3 months you'll be using it, or 6 months you'll be using it. And moreover, according to the throughput of the packet size, how much it has been downloaded, how much it's been uploaded, or how many packets are it's going through per second or something like that. So Gbps limit or Mbps limit, something like that. Based on that, on demand, the licensing will be given. It's a new type of licensing. See, here we have perpetual. Perpetual means it is depend on the calendar. It's based on the subscriptions. Subscription means 10 user I took it, 15 user I took it. That is a subscription model. Here is a metered. Metered in the sense that is also coming along with this on demand like that. So this for the cloud solutions and all, they will be having this kind of licensing timings. In on-demand, we need to register and serial number of the firewall support fortinet.com. Definitely we require that. Definitely we require that. Vishal has asked that. In on-demand, do we need to register the serial number of the firewall? When you are installing it in the cloud solutions or something, without proper license or something like that, we will not be able to install it in the cloud at all. Everything goes legal over there in the cloud. So if you have the virtual machines on your own and you try to install it in a machine or something like that, still you require that a 14 days evaluation period license is required. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. So people used to do some kind of a tricky things, or they'll try to take it up from the hackers, something like that, a serial number. Those are all not going to work out in any cloud solutions, I'm telling you. When it goes to the cloud, completely it should be legal, because AWS is responsible for all the third-party solutions has been integrated with in its own cloud. Later, there will be a problem with the third-party company and the cloud provider. That's why they never allow you. They require a proper license copies, license numbers to have the things to go along with that. So there is 4 models which we see in that. One is like data center model. What kind of support we get? UTM, enterprise, or 360? That depends on like what you look for, what you are going to opt for it. Whether according to your own requirement or solutions, you will be asking for it. UTMC, Unified Threat Management, it is not for the cloud solutions or something. We will be definitely going for an enterprise solutions only. UTM is for a very smaller concerns and all, like maybe within 50 users, something like that, then we're going for an UTM solutions on this. So we were seeing like this many firewalls which they are having it, like data center firewall, internal segmentation firewall, next generation firewall, unified threat management, and the private cloud virtual machine firewall, and the public cloud firewall. This is why that's why they say the private cloud means in on-prem we can install it, or in our own data centers we can install it. When it goes to the public cloud, in the sense the licensing and other things, everything will be getting changed. Doesn't mean the same one we can apply it anywhere. We're taking like license for your virtual machine or something like that, you cannot install it in the public cloud. That is not possible. Bring your own license in the sense where you are going to deploy it. Fortinet may be asking you this question, so we have to go through that. Licensing, well, that is a licensing part. Okay. Next, FortiOS. This is the operating system which has been running in all the Fortinet boxes. Currently, we are having the version of 6.4, I guess, and we are still running on 5 only in our own Fortinet, because we are not going for any upgradation or something. Because people used to feel like, oh, when I am upgrading, some of the applications may not working, it will stop working, or it may be a threat to the things. But only thing is like the recommendations has to come through the proper channel, so that we will be going for an upgradation or something. Okay, that is a real life scenario. The FortiOS is the foundation of the Fortinet security fabric, consolidating many technologies into a simplified single policy management framework. FortiOS provides customers with superior protection, deeper visibility and control, reduced complexity, greater operational efficiency across the entire attack surface. Everyone will be making a beautiful, proper English statement for that. Then only people will be buying. It's okay. FortiOS, it's like any other like that Cisco IOS which we are having it, right? Cisco OS we are having it, and Juniper OS we are having it, Junos we are having it, and everyone will be having their own OS or something like that. So all the OSs are based on Linux only. So I would like to say stress on that. Linux only. Yeah. Somebody speaking. What is that? Okay. Definitely. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will be sending all this to the people. No worries. And so this is working on the based on the Linux platforms only. If you are a good Linux guy, you can able to work on any firewall without any. Only thing is that the front end, the GUI may be changing. Like what all the options, menus are there. Accordingly, we have to select that and we'll work on. And this 40 OS has got networking, firewalling, VPN, routing, switching, SD-WAN, Wi-Fi controller, and much more. And on the security, intrusion prevention, IPS, application control, anti-malware, anti-botnet, web filtering, mobile security, and much more is going on. Integration, email, we can have the solution. Web application firewall, we can have. Endpoint security, we can have. Sandboxing, we can do. Vulnerability analysis, partner APIs, we can have that. Management is like a NOC/SOC policy, reporting and compliance, topology views, management, analytics, BDOOM and EDOOM, and much more other things. So these are all the things are supported by the 40 OS. 40 OS, I guess it is the same OS only, it has been installed in every other boxes. It depends on the box, it has been operating in such a way. Because some of the functions and applications can be invoked inside the 40 OS so that the box will be supporting that, which is having that kind of a CPU, which they install it like. That CPU is nothing but an ASIC, application specified integrated circuit, which is having some specified applications are installed on that. So this 40 OS will be having an advantage on this. And the security processor advantage. Fortinet security processors, FSP, radically increase the security performance, scalability, and the throughput of Fortinet solutions while greatly shrinking space and power equipments compared to the CPU-based solutions. CPU processing and based, blow, it's a very slow and not scalable and poor TCO. TCO means a total connection throughput, something like that you can take. And the firewall is a 6 Gbps. VPN will be giving maximum 2 Gbps. IPS will be giving 3.5 Gbps based on the Intel based processors, 8 core, 2 gigahertz, something like that the process. Versus they try to compare it with the normal thing. Fortinet SPU based. SPU means security processor. Security processor unit, like the parallel path processing. NPG and CPG. I guess it is a CG or a 6 or I don't know. Okay. Accelerates the network traffic and a flexible policy and accelerate the content inspection. So just see the comparison on this. So firewall is giving 6 Gbps on Intel based, but it is giving on SPU based, it is a 40 Gbps. IPsec VPN is giving on 25 Gbps. SSL VPN is giving on 28 Gbps. And IPS is giving on 20 Gbps. So 6 into 12 multiplied performance, which we will be having it. But for this, we require to buy the box solution, means appliance we need to buy. If we buy the appliance only, we will be able to get this, help of this SPU based. Okay, yeah, thank you. Everyone is giving the mail ID now only. Okay, anyway, let me give you the slides and the recording also. I'll give it to you at the end of the session. No worries. I'll forward it to all the emails whichever you give. Thank you. And the Fortinet system on the chip. This is nothing but I was talking about a ASIC chip. Okay. Optimize the entry level form factors. 5 multiplied firewall. For 6 into 11 of SSL VPN. Five-fold increase on IPS, 5-fold increase on concurrent sessions, 3-fold increase on power efficiency versus similarity priced offerings. So we can go ahead with this normal CPU, Intel CPU, and Fortinet CPU and Fortinet chip. We can have the comparisons on this. So this is the more performance, less latency. Latency is very important in the Fortinet, like firewall solutions. Because each and every packet, when it is going through the firewall, it is getting screened. Screened in the sense, literally screened. Who is sending it? Who is receiving it? What application? What program? Whether he is a legitimate thing, and everything is required in intensive CPU. Intensive CPU is required. Means intensive CPU calculations are required to understand whether it is not whether it is a spam or botnet or like spam mails or something, or it's a virus or something. So entire, when it is taking that, each and every, even the legitimate packet is also going through a lot of, the rules and policies and other things, which makes the performance go down completely. So to increase all these things, what we do, we need to install this. We are going to have this solutions on the Fortinet CPU and the Fortinet on the chip or something. So that's what they are asking. And somebody is okay, nice, okay, right. So this is about the differences between the normal processor and the security processor, which has been offered by the Fortinet. Next, FortiGuard. It's FortiGuard is a threat intelligence advantage. Fortinet solutions are powered by security services developed by the FortiGuard labs. They have their own labs. They will be testing and verifying everything, and they will be producing the product which is coming out of us, coming out to us like. So working with the world-class in-house tools and data collected from the sensors around the globe, our 200 plus researchers and analytics discover the breaking threats and then update the FortiGuard threat intelligence services to protect 300,000 customers every day. So individual subscription like enterprise bundle, UTM bundle, application control, IPS, antivirus threat, anti-spam, web filtering, mobile security. So like something else there. What all the things you will be getting it, like application control comes with a standard every FortiGuard support contract, FortiCare support contract like that. So you will be getting all this one. Once you have the enterprise bundle, you'll be having this much. Once you're having the only UTM bundle, only this much on this. Mobile security is not the advanced threat, industrial security, nothing you will be getting on this. And network security, FortiGate firewalls excel in every deployment scenario. It's a next generation firewall, DC firewall, IS firewall, SD-WAN, VPN solutions, CC firewall, that is nothing but carrier grade, IPS, and software WAN, something like that, gateway, something like that goes on. So Fortinet next generation firewall, NGFW. How does it work? Here it works like that: unknown threat detection, SSL inspection, web filtering, application visibility and anti and IPS, something like that. It goes on through this NGW. Something it's working on all the people who are sitting over here like that. It's like a diagram. Let's see the explanations on this. FortiGate next generation firewall is a high performance network security appliance that adds intrusion prevention, application and user visibility, SSL inspection, and unknown threat detection to the traditional firewall. Enforce security policies with granular control and visibility of users and devices for thousands of discrete applications. Identify and stop threats with powerful intrusion prevention beyond port and protocol that examines the actual content of your network traffic. Perform high performance SSL inspection using industry mandated zippers. Proactively detect malicious unknown code using our cloud-based sandbox service. Provide you with the real-time views into the network activity and actionable application and risk dashboards and reports. Deliver superior multifunction performance by running the on-purpose built applications with the custom ASICs. So these are all the things are given by the NGFW. I can even compare it with an ASA, or I can even compare it with our Juniper SRX also. Everyone is doing the same, but they will be highlighting their own extra things like that. So whatever the applications you are going to give that, whatever the solutions you are going to give that, definitely a firewall should be taken place. But we just need to see what that firewall can do for us. Whether we just need to buy some other solutions, or we'll have to go for any next firewall or something like that, or in the same firewall only I can able to integrate many of the things on this. So it's like more of everything comes under the budgetary compliance only. Like when we just need to see that within our budget whether we are getting many solutions or something. So in one of the case we were just seeing that key logging. Whenever the people are typing something other, they just need to do the key logging or something. The key logging is very much required for a banking application somehow. So who is actually typing it, what they're actually typing it, like that we can identify by the key logging feature. Some other firewalls doesn't support that. So when you are going to choose that a firewall applications or something like that, we just need to see every other point. So better we would like to take the brochures from the many of the firewall solutions, just compare them, and we'll have to go for that one. That's what been seeing, and that's what I used to do. Is I used to, giving the solutions to the customers, recommendations I just need to do, suggestions I used to do that. So I used to see all this. What is the unified threat management? It refers to when multiple security features or services are combined into a single device within your network. Using UTM, your network users are protected with several different features, including antivirus, content filtering, email, and web filtering, anti-spam, and more. So I can just say UTM is like more of like whatever the Wi-Fi, the broadband router which we are installing in our own home, like a home-based broadbands. Those are all doing all these things. I seen in some of the firewall that WP 300 something in the model number is there with Cisco that is doing all these things. I seen that it's giving some antivirus solutions and it is do some content filtering. I can even find out the IP address of the person who connected to me. I can block that certain applications for him not to access it over the internet or something. And the web filtering, I can definitely do that. I can do the key features like that. Whatever the searches we is doing it on Google, like when he's typing some other things like torrents or Microsoft Office software would like to require something like that. Those are all things I can just take it up the words and I can put it in like a filtering. That is also possible, anti-spam and more. So this is normally given by all the broadband routers which we are having on our own home or something. So UTM enables an organization to consolidate their IT security services into one device, potentially simplifying the protection of the network. As a result, your business can monitor all the threats and security related activity through a single pane of glass. In this way, you attain complete simplified visibility into all elements of your security or wireless architecture. That's what I was telling you in the wireless architecture. So here it's like a single pane of glass, means it's going to do all the work on its own. Every other work, what all it's doing, antivirus, content filtering, email, web filtering, anti-spam, and so many things it is doing that. So this is actually, it doesn't give you much performance on this. When you go for a multiple solutions under a one box or something, the throughput will be very less. That is a more problem. Throughput is very less. So you can have this unified threat solutions where you are going to add some multiple, like modules to the data center firewall or enterprise firewall or something like that, then you will be getting it. When you are taking the UTM model of it, then you may not be able to enjoy the throughput conditions. For that only, this is for a very smaller number of people who are sitting in office or something, or in a home or something like that, it will be a good solution for you. Okay, the next slide we'll see. Features of the Unified Threat Manager. Antivirus. UTM comes with the antivirus software that can monitor your network and detect and stop viruses from damaging your system and connected devices. This is done by leveraging the information and signature databases, which are storehouses containing the profiles of viruses to check if any active within your system are trying to gain access. Like some other threats are like, these are all the normal threats which we normally say. What are the threats? It's like infected files, trojans, worms, spyware, and other malwares and all. Anti-malware, UTM protects your network against malware detecting and then responding. Pre-configured to detect known malware, filtering it out your data streams and blocking it from penetrating to your system. It can also do some kind of a sandboxing as an anti-malware software. Even though malware is allowed to run, the sandbox prevents it from interacting with the other programs in the computer. So some kind of features are there in this. UTM will be doing the firewalling also. Firewall has a ability to scan your incoming and outgoing traffic for the viruses, malware, phishing attacks, spam, attempts to intrude your network, and other cybersecurity threats. Because UTM firewalls examine both data coming in and out of your network, they can also prevent devices within your network from being to spread malware to other networks and connecting it. Intrusion prevention. We are talking about IDS, intrusion detection system, and intrusion prevention system. IPS analyzes the packets of data, looking for patterns known to the exist in the threads. When one of these patterns are recognized, the IPS stops the attack. In some cases, IDS will merely detect the dangerous data packet, and an IT team can then choose how they want to address the threat. The steps taken to stop the attack can automated or performed manually. UTM will also log the malicious event. So we will be having the thousands of logs for that. So with that logs only, we just need to find out that all the SOC people will be working on logs only. Hours and hours, they just need to spend on like what has happened, what went wrong. Like With the heavy logging features onwards only, we will be able to find out what went wrong or something like that. Then virtual private networking, VPN should be provided by any UTM guys. So VPN features come with the UTM appliance function. Similarly, regular VPN infrastructure. VPN creates a private network through tunnels, through the private public network, giving users the ability to send and receive the data through the public network without others to seeing your data. The normal VPN feature we have. Then web filtering, uniform resource locators, URLs can be filtered. This is done by stopping users, browsers from loading the pages for those sites into the device. You can configure web filters to target certain sites according to your organization's aim to accomplish. That's what we can block certain URLs definitely. So not people even when they're typing, even when they're searching and going to that, we can block those things. It's not required. Data loss prevention. You get in the UTM appliance enables you to detect the data breaches and exfiltration attempts and then prevent them. To do this, the data loss prevention system monitors sensitive data. When it identifies an attempt to malicious actor to steal it, logs the attempt, thereby protecting the data. Like that, so many things are given. Okay, benefits of using a unified threat management solution: flexibility and adaptability, centralized integration and management, cost effectiveness, increased awareness of network security threats, faster security solution for businesses. These are all things we are seeing it. And UTM in the sense, UTM, we are going to implement it as a policy in higher grade network. That's what we explained here. With a UTM in a network, you can use a set of flexible solutions to handle the complicated assortment of network setups available in modern business infrastructure. You can cherry pick that what you need from a selection of security management tools, choosing what is best to your specific network. You can also obtain one licensing model that comes with all technologies you want, saving you time shopping for individual solutions. That's what. Because of an UTM is flexible, you have the freedom to deploy more than one security technology as you see fit. Also, a UTM comes with automatic updates which keep your system ready to combat latest threats on the landscape. It will be connecting to the Fortinet servers, so that will be downloading all the virus, threat signatures and all. So that will be making it. And centralized integration and management. In normal setup without UTM, you have to juggle several security components at once, including a firewall, application control, VPN, and others. This can take time and resources away from your team. The centralized nature of the UTM also allows you to monitor several threats simultaneously as they impact multiple components of your network. In a network without this centralized structure, when a multi-module attack is occurring, it can be very difficult to prevent it. And it is a cost effectiveness. This may result in significant cost savings. In addition, because of fewer staff are required, that is what resource cutting is more important, because of all the cloud solutions has come up, automation has come up, all the resource cutting is happening. Okay, and increase awareness of the network security threat. UTM centralization of faster operation results in increased awareness of a network security threat, ATP, that is advanced threat protection. Equipped with your IT team or the better management, advanced persistent threats, and enhanced capability to address these kinds of threats comes from a UTM's ability to operate several threat response mechanisms in unison, which combine forces against the threats that attempt to infiltrate your network. Faster security solution for business. You can streamline the way of data processed and use fewer resources at the same time. UTM does not require much resources that several components operating independent of each other. Higher efficiency you get from UTM may allow you to free up resources to better manage other essential network dependent processes. So this is a comparison between the next generation firewalls and the UTM. NGFW, that is what? NGFW versus UTM. This is what been explained here. So with a UTM, however, there exists a possibility that you get services that you do not need. Definitely, which are all not required. Also, it will be there in the box. Integrating this within your current network could involve extra work. It could also result in a difficult decisions, challenging setup process as you try to either combine the UTM's features and what you already have, or pit one against other to ascertain which solution is the better. You will be in a confusing mode. With NGFWs, on the other hand, such as Fortinet FortiGate, you can choose to turn on the features you need, what you need, making it a complete UTM solution. Conversely, you can choose to only use it as a firewall or activate some protections, but not others. If, for example, you can have a FortiGate, choose to use it as a full capacity, it will also work as a UTM system. So if you are buying like a UTM solutions, better you go for a FortiGate, then you activate whatever you want. That will be nice. Another difference is that NGFW is an effective solution for larger enterprises. That's what I was saying, larger enterprises. Whereas UTM may get overwhelmed by the demands of an enterprise. UTM will be getting overwhelmed. It cannot be able to handle it because it is having the one-stop solutions and it has got a very much of a throughput is very lesser. So UTM is only for a smaller company, smaller organizations. You can go for UTM as a box sampling, but UTM as a solution, you can activate it in the FortiGate itself. Because activating more of the features on the FortiGate firewall itself will give you the UTM functionalities on this. FortiGate is an NGFW that comes with all capabilities of an UTM. That's what. FortiGate has anti-malware capabilities, enabling it to scan the network traffic, both incoming and outgoing, for suspicious files. Fortinet UTM has an IPS that secures your network against attackers trying to gain a foothold within. FortiGate also comes equipped with data leak prevention software, which enables to detect potential breaches and attempts to exfiltration. FortiGate monitors your network activity. Then when a data leak is detected, it blocks it, protecting sensitive data. These protective measures can safeguard the data and endpoints within the network traffic and within storage devices. So you can go for a FortiGate. So with a FortiGate, what are you all getting it? You are getting a firewall also. You are getting a firewall also. At the same time, you are getting the UTM solution also. So like that we can have. So as you like and as your company can work out with the solutions. And so anything, whatever it comes up, like we will come back to our certification programs on this. Fortinet has got its own certifications. How many going for it? I don't know, because we are also not certified by Fortinet. So what I'm saying that at least one of the security certifications you should be having it, either ASA or Juniper certifications or a Palo Alto or a Checkpoint or something. Any one of the certification is enough for you. Like you can have the knowledge on the other firewalls very easily. But Fortinet is also having the certification. I'm going to talk about that now. But when you talk about that, what is the prominence? What is the priority given for the Fortinet certification or something in the sense? I would say that there is no much demand for Fortinet certified people, but still, if you show it like the Fortinet, you can work on the Fortinet solutions, and you are certified also. Like maybe like it'll be giving some kind of small brownie points in your resume, so people may be looking for that because Fortinet is growing. Fortinet is coming up like anything, and Fortinet solutions are being involved in many cloud solutions as well as in heavy data center solutions also. So when you have something kind of a knowledge on the Fortinet, if you put that word Fortinet in your FortiGate and other UTM and other solutions on your resume, you may get opted because people are looking for a certain kind of a box. If the person is already working on it, they will be picking up for their own certain projects or something. So that way it is very useful. But when you compare it with the Checkpoint certifications or Palo Alto or ASA, which has got some now, has gone through so much of a dramatic changes on the Cisco certifications, like Cisco security expert, specialist, and other things has come up. Fortinet is lying below. Means I can just say number one, maybe like your Palo Alto and Checkpoint and ASA something. Number 3 or 4, maybe like a Fortinet. So they have, it's called as an Acute Network Security Expert program. It's an 8-level training and assessment program designed for customers, partners, and employees with over 83,000 security certifications to date. I don't know when this, I got it from their own site. What is the date? And they didn't given it. What is the date of this certifications are given to the people? So validate your security experience, demonstrate the value. It's a dollar value, and accelerate the sales. Because when you're providing solutions to the customers saying that I have a Fortinet, I'm a Fortinet certified. Some people may be like thinking that, okay, this guy knows something, so I can ask for a solutions for this person. Like that. What are the certifications are there here? Fortinet Network Security Expert, NSC, level 1. Develop a foundational understanding of network security concepts. Level 2, NSC. Develop the knowledge and the skills necessary to sell key Fortinet solutions. This is for Fortinet employees and partners only. NSC 3, this is for a sales associate. Develop the knowledge and the skills to sell Fortinet products. for Fortinet employees and partners only. Means when your company is going for like a certified solutions for a Fortinet or something, they will be having kind of kind of a handshake with the Fortinet, and they will be having a kind of a partner program with them. So those people can get certified for NSC 2 and NSC 3. Otherwise the people can go for a NSC 1. Anyone can go for NSC 1, and they can go for a NSC 4. This level they can go for. This is open public, and this is also for a normal open certificate from here onwards. And so NSC 4, this may be the level you will be looking for. So in NSC 4, developing the technological something like that, technical knowledge and the skills needed to configure and maintain a FortiGate next generation firewall solution. And NSC 5 is like analyst, develop a detailed technical understanding of how to implement network security management and analytics. NSC 6 is a specialist, develop an understanding of advanced security technologies beyond the firewall solution. This was I was telling them. When you try to give global solutions for a customer or something, you require to have the specialist kind of experience as well as the knowledge on this one. Then NSC 7 is a troubleshooter. Demonstrate a deep technical understanding of key Fortinet solutions. It is based on Fortinet only mostly. So the last level is NSC 8. Demonstrate the ability to design, configure, install, troubleshoot comprehensive network solutions in a live environment. So we will be starting with the NSC 1 level. Then we may have to go until the professional level. Then rest onwards, you just need to start with the Fortinet products very much. Generally, you will be able to do multiple solutions on this one. You just need to work on-prem solutions, first of all, that is required. Then we just need to work with the virtual machines, local virtual machines, which we install it in a virtual machine or something other, we'll be installing it. Then we'll have to work with that NG next generation firewall solutions we need to work. Then we'll have to work on a UTM solutions definitely. Then you should be working on more on the cloud side. That is more important. I would like to stress on this. Cloud, any cloud. On the any cloud in the sense, you definitely will be working on a WAF. Web application firewalls and all, you just need to work with it. Then ultimately, you just need to work with the boxes. What I'm saying, that application appliances. We just need to work with the appliances. Appliances in the sense, Fortinet appliances, we just need to work on, not only just a VM solutions, or not only just like a cloud solutions or something like that. So then only you'll be able to get that knowledge of that until that NSC expert level or something. There are some books are there, PDFs are there, people are taking the sessions on this. I also conduct something like, because I have some set of LANs which I created on my own. I can take that because we have the 14 days, that's what I was telling you, 14 days evaluation copy is available. We can activate that 14 days evaluation copy. And this evaluation copy has got some limited throughput functions only. We cannot have more than 2 CPU, and we cannot have more than 2 GB of RAM for the virtual machine or something like that. We cannot activate anything more on that. So many other functions may not work more than that. The rest all things, if you have the real firewall with you, or you just need to install it in the cloud. You need to install it in the cloud. In the cloud, when you're installing it, you will be having the fullest function on this. You can have the fullest function on this, then you can activate all these things and we can see all these things on this. So this on-job experience also will help. You may not be able to get everything from the classes or something, sessions or something. Better we can work with it, firewalls in a company or solutions or a customer's place or something. There we'll be able to get some more knowledge on this one. So level of certifications is like NSC 1 you can go for, anyone can go for. Then you'll have to go and jump on to the professional level, NSC 4, then 5 and 6 and 7, like analyst, specialist, troubleshooter, and the expert line. So the next slide, this is my contact number when you're looking for any kind of certifications or something, not only for the firewall. I work on Linux boxes. I used to work on every other boxes on the load balancers and global traffic solutions, DNS solutions, cloud solutions. And currently I'm working on this firewalls. Firewalls I've been working on very, very heavily for a long time. I was to work on, I got your email address, okay. So I'm working on many solutions as well. So I will be able to give you the extensive training on whatever the topics you're looking for. I used to offer the trainings for like a cloud solutions, all cloud solutions I do, like AWS and Azure and Google Cloud, I used to do that. And the firewalls like ASA, Cisco ASA will be working on. And in the firewall, we can work on a checkpoint. I can have the checkpoint also. Then Fortinet, anyway, it has been there. So it is a very cheaper and easier solutions on the Fortinet. We can have the sessions on this. And F5, solutions for the F5. So we have all the solutions as well. So I can able to give you the trainings on all these things. And somebody pinged, 1 second, who was that? Okay, mail address. Okay, nice. Okay, thank you. I'll be giving all. And I would like to show you a small, the demonstration on the Fortinet, FortiGate, which I installed it in my own PC. I would like to show you that. So 1 second, let me minimize this. Okay, let's go back to the virtual machine. So here I installed the FortiGate. Yeah, thank you. Somebody is, can you please mute your mics, all the people, please. So here I installed it like a FortiGate web firewall. So this is the login which I'm having it. I'll show you the settings of this. Guess all can see my screen. They see that only 2 GB allocated, one processor I allocated, and within this only the things will work. Otherwise, the Fortinet VM will not work with that. So I installed on this. Then we can run this commands on this. We can log into this here, saying admin and the admin password has to be given. Then we can get all the informations on this hardware, like this. Get system, like this. It goes on, like show system, like that we can have. Show system, like if you just give like that, all the commands will come up on this. You know, all these things are there. And after I install it, we can open it through the browsers on this. Here I logged in. This is the one that I open it up. 192.168.1.103. That is a IP address which is assigned for this virtual machine, FortiGate. And I'm logging in with my own password. Here I'm logging into that. So this is like a normal FortiGate setup. These are all I have not done that. That's why it is asking like I can do it later. So this is the screen which we are getting on this. So here what we are getting it like a FortiGate VM4, VM64. And this is like a command line utility. I can have it here also. So this is the command line utility. I can just get that get, and like that I'll get all the things like get user, sorry, get user. Something like that, it is saying something, show commands, I can try, you know, show web proxy, show firewall. I can have the show firewall. It's not giving much information on this. Show system. You need to learn these commands, then only we can understand. Show system, admin or firewalls, HA, SAML, NTP. It's a set NTP system enable, set interface Fortinet, show system interface I can have. So it is giving that show system interface. This is a port one which is configured with the IP address 192.168.1.3, 1.103. And this is a port 2 which I configured for like LAN connections which I have it. Like that we can have all the commands, we can have it on this. It's very easier. And here the dashboard is there. So here, this is the, you can search it on this, then you can have the help on this one, you can have it here. And there is some notifications has come up. See that VM evaluation license expires soon, means like 1st February 2021, maybe like around 10 days or 6-7 days of that. I already installed it on. This is the admin which I logged in on this. Fortinet, this is the latest build I got it, the version 6.4.4. That is a build I have. And reboot and shutdown we can have. Configuration backup, resource revisions, we can have it. And here the dashboard. Let me show you the dashboard. Status of the dashboard, I'll be getting it. Let me close this. This is the system information. Host name is FortiGate VM64. We can change the serial number which has been allocated to me automatically because this is a 14 days license copy of this evaluation license. Firmware which I am making for version 6.4.4. Mode is the NAT. System time is this is the local time it is speaking. And uptime it is for last 1 hour 49 minutes something it's having. And WAN IP is unknown, something like FortiGate support. FortiGate support. It's not supported because it's an evaluation. The firmware and general updates is not possible because it is IPS is not supported, antivirus is not supported, web filtering not supported, because it is not able to connect to the FortiGuard services, servers. Means this virtual machine need to talk to the FortiCare, their own servers, then it will be updating its own virus database and other things. Here it is like a virtual machine. One virtual machine is running on this, and it is a license. Allocated virtual CPU 1, it is used 100%. Allocated RAM, which is used 98% of this. This is using the 2 GB of this one. So administrators can do the consoling, they can do HTTP, they can do GUI console, they can do the Forti Explorer, something like that. So here the security, let me show you the security part of it. So I can make the things, means a Forti analyzer, I should be using this. So one total host is connected on this Fortinet client and detected vulnerabilities. This is a network. 3 routes are connected, directly connected, and static routes it's been showing. DHCP, no results. Forti sources, users and devices. It's a very easier, like managing, very easier to manage this FortiGate because it is all GUI based and it's very easy for us. Security fabric, you can see. Physical topology, unable to load. Something like logical topology, something like that you can see. Security ratings, automations. So here the automation, compromised hosts, FortiOS event log, HA failover, high availability failover, incoming webhook, licensing expiry, rebooting, other things, fabric connector, fabric setup, logging, and other things we can see here. External connectors, results at all. Network, I will show you that all the interfaces which I configured over here. We can have 10 interfaces we can configure. So first interface I connected to the WAN, which is connecting to the outside network, means it's has the internet connections. But through this IP only I logged in here. You can just see that. And this ping, HTTPS, everything is possible from the outside on this. Port 2 I configured as like a LAN connections I configured. Here you can see the colors of it. Port 1, 10 Gbps full deploys. Port 2, 10 Gbps full deploys auto negotiation, physical interface. It is called the role is a LAN, and this one is a WAN. One is used is like a WAN connection, something like that. DNS, I can configure that. It is already taken my 192.168.1.1 like the primary DNS server and the secondary DNS server it has taken. Packet capturing, I can activate that. I just need to activate, then I can check that. There is no result as such. SD-WAN, we can configure SD-WAN zones and SD-WAN rules. I can configure that. Somebody is pinging. Okay, nice. The SD-WAN all route tag undefined source IP, something like that. Static route I can configure that. Policy routing I can do. I can configure all the protocols as well. RIP I can configure with any routers which is there with me. I can configure the routing part of it also. OSPF and BGP I can configure. Multicast I can use. Next, let us see the system administrators here. Admin is the only guy which has been configured, and a two-factor authentication is not there. Like a Google Authenticator we can use to log into this box. It's not there. Admin profiles, maybe only one profile is there. Admin profile. Firmware, this is the FortiOS which has been currently installed on this. It's showing. HA, SNMP, replacement messages, FortiGuard. Here is you see FortiGuard updates. Support is not supported because FortiGate support, it's actually evaluation copy. And virtual machine, this is the virtual machine, it is showing the license expiration date. And firmware, it's all not supported here. We just need to activate it by seeing a license for that, then we can try that out. FortiGate updates, accept the push updates. We can take it if you want. Schedule updates every 2 hours or something, it goes on. And you can have feature visibility. These are all the feature visibilities. Advanced routing, IP version 6, VPN, unnamed policies, certifications, and a DOS policy, denial of service attacks, antivirus, application control, DNS filter. It's like a normal every other firewall which is supporting on this one. So these are all the certificates which you can see here. Yeah, thank you. And policies and objects, you see that. Firewall policy, which I just installed it certain thing now. I given a static node on this. I'll just show you that virtual IPs now they configured on this. Like I'm just making some small let me make one small diagram here only. It's sorry, stop the sharing. Sorry, I stopped it. I guess you can see that. So this is the FortiGate firewall. This FortiGate firewall, and this is the WAN interface which is connecting to the outside. This is a port 1. I can just say port 1. In this WAN interface, my Windows 7 PC is connected. Windows 7 PC is my client, Windows 7. Both are connected to the internet. Both are connected to the internet. This is the LAN interface I can show. In that LAN interface, I installed one CentOS Linux box. CentOS Linux box, which is running as a web server. It's like a web server. So this guy will come back from the WAN and he will connect to this firewall. This firewall will be doing the static NATing. The NATing, when he will be assigned some different IP on this, and he will be accessing this, it's like a web server from the outside. Like I can make it in the local LAN, or I can put it in any zone called a DMZ zone or something like that. I just configure it very lightly. Like only this WAN Win7 will come up and will connect to the WAN interface. And after touching this firewall, the firewall will do the NATing. It will do some NATing. On this NATing, then this CentOS server will be get access from this. So that's what I did that. I'll clear this one. It's so much of it's there. So this is the virtual IP which I configured. I'll show you that small configurations on this. I'll just edit, then you'll be able to see that. Name I'm giving like a VIP pool for the web. External IP address range. This is I'm doing the static NATing on this. 110. This is the IP address the client will be typing in their own browser to connect to this web server internally. You see that internal server is a 10.0.2010. This is nothing but a web server we installed it on a CentOS box. That is a CentOS box, and 110 is an outside IP which I am configured. When they are coming, the port forwarding will happen. He has to access it on the port number 8080. That will be mapped to the port of 80. Actually, in a web server, it is running on a port 80. When he is accessing from outside, he will be accessing on the port on 8080. I will be doing the NATing as well as the port forwarding also. This is the virtual IP I created, and the firewall policy need to be created on this for the persons to access from the outside. So this I will show you what I did here. So this is the static NAT I just given a name. Incoming interface is port 1, that is nothing but a WAN port. Outgoing interface is port 2, that is a LAN port. In LAN port only my web server is connected. Source is all, anyone can come in. And destination is VIP pool for web. That's what the VIP which we created, 192.168.1.110. That's you can see that the highlighting. And scheduling, when he can access it. See, I can say that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. I'll just give you the time scheduling and other things. For the demo base, I just given that always. And services, I can give what all the services they can do. All services means HTTP, HTTPS, and all the dynamic ports, everything is possible. And accept action is nothing but accepting. And it is inspection is a flow based. NATing, I am actually doing the NATing here. IP pool configuration, use outgoing interface address, it is doing that. Antivirus, web filter, DNS filter, everything is off. And I'm not doing any inspection at all. SSL inspection is not there. Logging the allowed traffic is been, it is going to log that and enable this policy. I'm not capturing packet and I'm not generating any logs or something. Enabling the policy, and I just click OK on this. So now this policy has been installed. Okay, this policy is installed and virtual IP is also been there. I will go back to my virtual machine. So this is my virtual machine. This is a Windows 7. From this Windows 7, I'll access this CentOS through the firewall. Like, let me go to the Internet Explorer, and it's connecting. Let me open up a new browser. 192.168. This IP is already been there, so I'll access it. So now I am accessing this. Welcome to the web server through the static NAT configured by a FortiGate VM through VM. Actually, how I am accessing it, that's what I was telling you. This from this Windows 7 machine. This is Windows 7 machine. I am connecting to the internet. The internet FortiGate firewall is installed. This is the firewall is installed. On the internal interface, my CentOS web server is running. When he is typing this 110 the IP on his browser with the port number 8080, it comes through the internet and it is hitting the firewall port 1. And this is doing the NATing here. After NATing, he will be accessing this internal web server. So I am getting the output of this web server here. I can even show you that, the web server page here. Second. So let me log in here as a root and the password. Let me show you the page. Is accessing that page only. So this is the page he is accessing. Welcome to web server through static NAT configured via FortiGate VM64. Same thing he is getting it. So this is the page which I was telling you, like, so like we can have as many as configurations which we can make on this. So IP pools we can create, protocol options we can go for it, you know, security profiles which we can create, antivirus, web filter, DNS filters, intrusion preventions, IPS, SSL and SSH instructions. VPN we can create, overlay controller VPN. This is coming under the SD-WAN capability. It is not activated here because it is a demo purpose. IPsec tunnels I can create, and IPsec through the IPsec wizard I can create that. Site-to-site VPN I can create, hub and spoke, remote access, and then add configurations like that. Disconnections are going on. Hub and spoke will be like this. Remote access will be like this. So on the FortiGate client I can access this like this. IPsec tunnel templates are there, which we can use the template which they already created it. Using this, we can just modify our source and destination addresses and the port numbers. We can activate this, we can create these tunnels within seconds. It's possible. SSL VPN portals and settings and location map. Everything we can create is all the help we can get it from this one. Somebody is studying, can we create policy route in VM64? Possible we can create that, but actually we require to have licensed copy on that, and we can even try it out in the things on demo also. Let's see, maybe like user authentication we can have that. Who all log into this? Like I can create, I can even compare, I can even integrate it with my LDAP server and Radius service. This is normally which we do that, because through the LDAP authentication only this the person can go out or come in. He can accept it. That is quite normally which we do in every firewall. We can do that here. And authentication settings we can do. Protocol support HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. This is to connect to this Fortinet. Who can do this? That is what the activation which we can do. I given HTTP only. So 40 tokens which we can create, logs and report. Here it's like a forward traffic. These are all the traffic which is come up. Now you see 110 which is connecting through the source is 104 something. Some 104 is a Windows 7 IP. Is connecting to the destination is a 110. Then it is doing the static netting on this. This is a policy which is being done. So 3 minutes ago, I just accessed that. It is showing the pop-up is showing. So we can have all the local traffic, forward traffic, and sniffer traffic. This way I have to require some firewall policies. System events, VPN events, user events, HA events, like an endpoint events, and I can see system events. We can see that, yeah, this is it. Delete 5 old report files, DSCP statistics. This is the taste today, 23, I guess yesterday's things. So many logs are there because I installed this week before. And antivirus logs, because we need to activate this policy. So then only it will work out. Web filtering, SSL, DNS query, file filter, application control, intrusion preventions. Normally log settings and all, everything I can do. Disk, how much disk usage has been there, like. So this is quite very friendly, usable, and very easy to work with this firewall. And solutions also quite simple. And moreover, it doesn't take much of your CPU and resources from your machines or something. So that is about the things on this. And I see some couple of people who are given the email addresses and all, and whoever is not given, please give it. Like I will just send you all the recordings as well, and the PPT also will give it to you. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Now I am open to that because this demo as well as the session has been over from my side. If you have any questions in your mind, you can ask me. Please unmute your mic and ask me any questions. I am ready to answer you. And if you are looking for any kind of sessions or trainings or something, in the screen you can see that my telephone number is there, mail address is there, and I will be uploading this recording to the YouTube. You can watch it maybe like by tomorrow, something like that. You can watch it, and I will be sending you this PPT slides and trainings, training fundamentals, training, requirements or something. I'll just send you. Okay. Okay. Javed has said that. Okay, fine. He said that. Okay. Any other questions from your side on any firewalls? Because I used to conduct trainings on the ASA firewall, checkpoint firewall, and Fortinet. And Palo Alto, I'll be doing it in the next two or 3 weeks. I'll be making it ready for Palo Alto. We are working on that. I just need to make some, like the labs need to be get ready because I just need to be very much ready for that to deliver it. So I'm just making it up that Fortinet has been ready now. We can have some around 10 to 15 labs. I can see it on the Fortinet. OS upgradations on this static, what is that, site-to-site VPN, netting, static netting, dynamic netting, and DMZ zones configurations, and SSL configurations, SSL VPN configurations. Everything we'll be seeing it. What the normal firewall will be doing, that all the firewall configurations will be doing on this. So no need to worry about that. I can take one-on-one session also, not an issue at all. Nowadays, it's all everybody is working from home only, so we have a lot of time to talk. And either mornings or evenings or even maybe on the weekends also I can work on. Along with my work, I can work with you, not a problem. Okay. Okay, I am ready to take your questions on suggestions. Sorry, any kind of doubts or questions which you have in your mind, and you ask me. I am ready to answer that. Hello. Any questions? I see people are there around. Yeah.
I just posted a question regarding if we have a provision to learn the traffic basically initially in the FortiGate, and then later on take actions to block it or.
So this we need to do it with the licensed versions only. That's what it has been possible. And 1 second, let me see your question. Just 1 second, it's gone up very much. Can we create policy based routes in VM64? That I need to try it out. Definitely, I will try and give you the answer for that. Okay. Policy based routing, which normally we will be doing it on the routers and all. Policy based route, we will be creating it. And because to take up the certain route or something like that, we will be creating the policy based route. PIB, we call it as that. We can try it out in the Fortinet because it is supporting the RIP, OSPF and BGP also. We'll try that, not an issue. Okay, any other questions from your? How much RAM do we need to run the FortiGate VM? Yeah, that's what, 2 GB RAM is enough. 2 GB RAM and 1 CPU, if we give that, that's more than enough. Because this evaluation thing only will work with 2 GB only. If you increase the memory, it may be complaining. It will not work with that. So minimum 2 GB is required for it. Minimum 2 GB and 2 GB RAM is required. And 1 CPU, 1 vCPU is enough. In a firewall, in a VMware workstation, you can install this machine, it's possible. So maybe like around 50 GB of hard disk, you just leave it. That's enough. It can work with it, no problems at all. 50 GB HDD. That's what I was showing you that day. And HA part will cover in evaluation as. Yeah, we can try that HA part, possible. I tried once I tried. It worked, it's working. HA, we can try that. HA is nothing but like high availability. It will be configuring the another box on its own. Main box will get configured. And the mailbox, once it is configured, it will copy the entire configuration to the second box. Second box will become an online when the first box goes down or something. That is a HA. That we can try that, and it's possible. If it is not possible, we'll make it possible. No, no worries. So that is our job. We are working on that only. On evaluation copies on this. Okay. Any other questions from your side? I will be sending you the slides and the recording also to you in just in 1 hour or something like that, because I just need to upload it to either YouTube or to Google Drive or something. Then I will share the links to all, and I'll send the mail directly to you people. On this, you will be able to get there. You can download it and you can watch it anytime on YouTube. In a day, in a YouTube, it will be available in a day. So you can watch it on any time. And please suggest my YouTube channel to the people. And please, you also, please people subscribe to that. So you will get the latest update from my side. Every week, I try to update it with some new technology, new topics, and new labs and scenarios and all these things. And I would like to make it, much more, much more topics I would like to talk on daily. Because of the work is been come up now because the corona is going off. So work has been coming up more like, so not having much time to talk on technical topics or something, but I would like to try to pull my own time to work on more, and I will try to deliver more topics on this, on technical things on this. So if you don't have any more questions on this, I can go ahead and close this session and give me YouTube ID. It is there in the screen, no? You can see that. It is there.
Hey,
in-
Ramnath.
Yeah.
Hello. Ramnathji,
Huh?
can we have a session on checkpoint?
Checkpoint. Checkpoint, I will make it up. A checkpoint, maybe 2 weeks time, I will be giving on checkpoint. No worries. And
Yeah, it will be very helpful.
yeah, and the checkpoint is actually they are giving a 15 days again license is the evaluation license. We can have that. I'll take it up, not a problem. Because checkpoint, Fortinet, and Juniper SRX and ASA, I am mostly working on all these things, as well as on the cloud side also I'm working on. So only thing is that I just need to make labs ready.
Okay.
Then I will come back to you, because immediately people are asking, let us go for a session. That means I will be into the problems. That's why once I made myself ready,
Yeah.
then I will deliver it. Not a problem. Fortinet, if you ask, I can take it immediately. Not an issue. So any other
Sure,
questions?
boss, sure.
Thank you for your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Ramnath.
Ramnath, I have one question. So I want to ask everyone over here. There was a channel was there, and they having they schedule a 3-day session for the checkpoint tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 25, 26, 27.
Your voice is cracking. Your voice is very. Can you please type it?
So they're sharing some URL and links.
No, I still.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's clear. Now it's clear. Yeah. Please talk. Please ask. Please.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I got some of the channel team member who has shared some schedule session for checkpoint for tomorrow, day after tomorrow, for 3 days. Okay. So will I share that screen on this chat box? Is it okay for you?
No, not a problem. You can give it. Why not? They are giving. Somebody else is giving. Huh?
Okay. Because there are there are so many people, so that's what I'm sharing it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nice. And
Hey, Ramnath, Syed Mohiuddin again.
yeah.
Yeah, so like as I said, you like we have even 40 Deceptor. 40 Deceptor technologies even there. So I was keen to know about Fortinet technologies. So like, can you guide me for?
Yeah, definitely. I will get the information. Then I will pass it on to you. Why not? I'll have to get this information. Deceptor. I'll get this information for you. No worries.
Yeah. So where should I do this course for Fortinet? And so like, do you have any reference or do you have any advice or suggestion for me?
Yeah, once I get it, I will pass it on to you. Please ping me separately. I will give you all the information. On the same WhatsApp number, you can ping me on that with your question. Once I get the information, I'll pass it on to you one-on-one. That's right. Cool.
Sure.
Thank you.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions from anyone?
Thanks for the session, Ramnath.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining. And every Sunday I used to give solutions, like some sessions are happening. So please, people, do join. And
Okay.
if you have any
No,
in your mind,
no worry.
looking for any sessions or something, you can suggest me. I can take the sessions on that. That's possible.
Sure.
If it is in my own vicinity, in my control,
Okay.
or something.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
can subscribe your channel. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining today.
Thanks.
And I'll be sending you these all information to you. Okay, with this slides as well as the training slides as well as the. Thank you, buddy. To you. Thanks for joining. I'm just ending this meeting now. You can always contact me on this number.
Thanks.
On the screens anytime, and I'll be sending you these informations to you in.
Sure, definitely.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.